Check it. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're looking at AMC stock, GME stock, SPY stock, Bitcoin, and SQQQ. We're going to be looking at these assets, the charts, technicals, and prediction, giving you guys an update and prediction based off what the charts are telling me. This video is full of information that you need to know if you play in the stock market, hold crypto, and or day trade and swing trade and invest. This is going to be the best technical analysis that you can find on YouTube and on some of the internet. So with that being said, let's go and hop in the charts, facts, data. Let's go. You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to be looking at SPY. We're going to be looking at AMC, GME, our favorite meme stocks, and we're also going to be looking at Bitcoin as well. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop in the charts and see what we have going on. So the first thing I want to point out is SPY. Right now, we can see a unhealthy rally. This is a unhealthy rally, and I do think this is going to be a bull trap, So this is classic bearish divergence. You guys can see RSI is trending to the downside. You can see higher or lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. It keeps getting lower and lower and lower, while higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, while it keeps getting higher, higher, and higher. That is called bearish divergence. And bearish divergence always plays out. It always plays out. It's just you never know when it's going to play out. If you guys can see what happens after the price, it has a pretty sharp crash to the downside, especially if you see bearish divergence. This is a sign of a very unhealthy rally. That is a very unhealthy rally and a sign of a bull trap. So I do think SPY is setting up a bull trap in my personal opinion. You can also see that RSI is just blown out the roof. You can see that it's blown out the roof here on the 1 hour time frame, the 2 hour time frame, even the 4 hour time frame are all of them are overbought. Now, I do want to point out here on the daily time frame that it's working on a MACD flip, trying to get a MACD flip on the daily time frame. But the thing is, if this bearish divergence plays out and you see a big push to the downside, that will actually not happen and you won't see that MACD flip. Now, I think SPY is nearing the top. My personal opinion is it's probably going to go to 450 and then start seeing a push to the downside. It looks like it's riding on the support right now. It might see like one more quick little pop up to about 450, but the SPY is going to be moving to the downside. You can already see that the MACD is already starting to curl to the bearish side as SPY starts to lose momentum here on these higher ranges. Again, people are looking for any reason to take profit. The market is not strong right now. It is not going to be a bull market like everyone's thinking. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be a bull market, but me personally, I think we're going to see a major market crash. Again, if you are new to the channel, I'll go ahead and quickly go over it. But if you look at the market cycles in psychology, you guys will see that it is almost an exact carbon copy of what the S&P 500 and NASDAQ are doing. You guys can see that kind of goes up and then it goes parabolic into a euphoria rally, drop down, and then you see this upwards consolidation chop, which is complacency stage, which drops down into capitulation. Now, if you go ahead and look, you can see that it's kind of going up, then it goes parabolic, it drops down into complacency stage. Everyone thinks it needs to cool off before the next bull rally. That's where it gets everyone, but this is actually a massive bear flag, and you see a drop to the downside. So as you guys can see, SPY is in a massive macro bear flag. We do have bearish candles here on the weekly MACD, and I do think SPY is going to continue moving to the downside. Now there is a gap fill up here for SPY in this area of 453 and 456. There is a gap fill there for SPY, but I don't think that will necessarily be filled as of now. Again, it's very, very likely that it could be filled, that SPY could get a quick push up or maybe even start to pull back here. So basically, I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at. So basically, SPY will start to pull back and then continue back to the upside. So let's go ahead and show you guys what that would look like. So basically, SPY move up a little bit here in pre-market, start to drop down, have a red day tomorrow, which I do think tomorrow is going to be a red day for SPY, then have a overall pullback to the downside, and then able to get enough momentum where it could then maybe possibly get a bounce and then go like this and then capitulate. How many people would get extremely bullish if SPY were to start going back to the upside? It could rope in a lot of people and get a lot of exit liquidity, which is needed by these larger positions. So again, I do think these larger positions are hunting for exit liquidity. That's why they're running it up and creating this bull trap. I do think we're going to see downside tomorrow and then possibly find a bottom, getting a bottom, coming back up and filling that gap, and then getting a capitulation to the downside. Or we could see an overall capitulation to the downside much sooner, especially if the bottom falls out on SPY and we start to see this thing get crazy. You could see it pull back to the downside quickly. Again, RSI is extremely overbought on every single metric. Also, if you go ahead and look at SPY, there is a gap fill down here to the downside. If you go ahead and look on the smaller time frames, you will see a gap fill to the downside here at about 440. At about 440, there is a gap fill as well. So these are all things that I'm looking at for SPY. I do think we are going to see overall downside again. I think we could see it basically start to drift up a little bit, maybe even go about to 450. I did call out the top at 450. So I do think we could see 450. It might top out here at this support range or the next one above it, 450. I did say could probably go to 450, maybe even see a little bit of push up pre-market and then see a drop down. I do think tomorrow is going to be a red day, in my personal opinion, for SPY. Now, if we go ahead and look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is bullish. Bitcoin is looking good. Basically, Bitcoin is in fire sale territory. Bitcoin is in fire sale territory. If we go ahead and look at the Bitcoin charts, you guys will see that it is in the fire sale territory. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you guys what I mean by fire sale territory. So anytime Bitcoin is in this blue marked area, this is fire sale. And this is a great time to buy Bitcoin because it always runs up from these areas. And if you look at what this range has been, this has been a massive accumulation range. And if you look at what Bitcoin has done ever since its conception, it's done nothing but increase in value. If you go ahead and look and zoom in, you guys can see down here on the bottom of your screen, this is the fire sale level. You guys can see that it's in the fire sale territory, literally one of the best times you could be buying Bitcoin. And when it was below that, it was one of the ultimate times to be buying Bitcoin around that $15,000 level. You literally cannot even get it for that anymore, and it's been in profit ever since. So I am looking at Bitcoin and holding Bitcoin and accumulating Bitcoin, in my personal opinion. I do think we're going to see upside and a bull rally in 2024. I do think we're going to see a bull rally in 2024. If you go ahead and look at the weekly time frame and the monthly time frame, you will see on the monthly time frame we have a MACD flip. Every time the MACD flips on the monthly time frame, that correlates with massive runs to the upside. We also have buy signals here on the super trend. So if we go ahead and look at the super trend on the weekly time frame, you guys will see that we have buy signals that normally correlate with much larger movements to the upside. You can see this buy signal here, this buy signal here, and this buy signal here, correlating with a larger move to the upside. And Bitcoin has also pulled off a major reversal. As you guys can see, this inverse head and shoulders. Right here's your shoulder, right here's your next shoulder, right here is your head. This is an inverse head and shoulders, pushing Bitcoin back to the upside. Again, right here's your head, right here's your shoulder, right here's your shoulder, pushing Bitcoin back to the upside. And again, this is looking extremely bullish. It did just print a fresh buy signal on the 4-hour and on the daily time frame. So Bitcoin is looking good, in my personal opinion. I do apologize. It's just the 4-hour time frame. The daily time frame has not printed yet, but the MACD has flipped for a bullish candle on BTC. You can also see that some altcoins are up as well. For the day, you can see that Rune's up 11%, BTCH is up 18%, XDC is up 12%, Matic is up 6%, and of course, me personally, I'm stacking XLM and XRP, which XLM is up 4%. So this is what I'm looking at so far. XRP is up 3.6%. This is what I'm looking at. Again, I'm stacking Bitcoin, Ethereum, XLM, and XRP, and I do think these are home run hitters. Let's go ahead and hop into AMC and GME. Basically, GME has a tear to the upside. Okay, GME has a nice tear to the upside. GME has the macro triple bottom. Okay, we have the macro triple bottom. If you go ahead and look at a triple bottom, I'll show you guys the triple bottom pattern and show you guys what we're looking at. So basically, GME has a triple bottom, bottom number 1, bottom number 2, bottom number 3. You guys can see there, bottom number 1, bottom number 2. This is bottom number 3. GME is getting a clean bounce, and I do think it's about to move to the upside, filling this gap fill at $40, and there is a gap fill at $70. Also, if you go ahead and look at Wyckoff accumulation, you guys can see that the Wyckoff accumulation pattern is playing out as well. I do think GME is actually getting its spring off of these levels. If you look at Wyckoff accumulation, you can see that you drop down once, 2, 3 times. Your third time is your spring, which gives you a push to the upside. This is your third time right here, giving us a push to upside. It also has a macro falling wedge. So again, GME is looking extremely bullish. RSI was way oversold. You guys can see that the MACD starting to curl. We almost got a MACD flip. You guys can see that the MACD flip already has happened on the 4-hour time frame. RSI is a little hot, so again, I do think GME is going to see a little bit of pullback, but right now what it's doing is basically forming a bull flag, where I do think it's going to get a push up to about 1870 before getting an overall pullback to the downside. It's in an ascending channel, so I do think it's going to continue to move to the upside, and this thing could get crazy by earnings. Earnings is the 6th. Earning is the 6th of September. This thing could get absolutely crazy by that time. Okay, so you guys want to be ready. Me personally, I already have my position. The Discord and I were able to get in with here and here and here, call options and shares. I did call out those plays in the Discord, so that's why you want to be in the Discord, to make sure you get these plays and get these notifications on a timely manner. That way you guys can get all the plays and get all of the cake. That way you guys can get all of the gains and then stack it and start putting it in these major swing trades plays. That is the formula to accumulate massive gains, not financial advice. So I do think GME is actually going to continue moving to the upside. Basically, I think this bull flag is going to pop. We're going to see a pop maybe here pre-market or in the beginning of the market. See this thing push up, probably having a day of consolidation. It's had 3 days of green, so we might see a little bit of consolidation. Right now, I have Hakanashi style candles on. So we'll go ahead and show you the regular candles. But basically, we've had 3 days of green for GME, 3 days of green. So we might have one red day tomorrow as it consolidates and then gets a push up. But I do think GME is going to be at about $25 to $30 in about a week's time, maybe even 2 weeks' time at the max. But I do think here in the very near future, we're going to be seeing GME at least $40, probably in about a month's time, not financial advice. I do think September is going to be a great month for meme stocks, and it's going to be a bad month for the market. Historically, September and October have been very bad months for the market. If you look at historical context, you'll see that September and October have been down months for the market most of the time, and this is why I'm playing SQQQ. SQQQ goes down when the market goes up and goes up when the market goes down. I believe SQQQ is going to see more downside. This is planned. This is exactly what I wanted. SQQQ has a gap fill down here. I'm waiting for this gap fill to buy at this $17 range. I do have some SQQQ accumulated, but I'm accumulating in this range. If it goes down to fill this gap fill, that's great. I'll be able to buy a lot more for a lot cheaper. If it goes to $16, I'll be able to buy more a lot cheaper, but I am playing the gap fills back to the upside when this thing does get a turnaround, and I do think the market is going to overall crash for the downside. Again, you can see Apple has gap fills to the downside. Nvidia has gap fills to the downside. These are big market movers. You guys can see that there's multiple bearish patterns on these that I've talked about before. Also, the NASDAQ has a massive macro bear flag if we go ahead and look at the NASDAQ. So based off of all of this technical analysis on different stocks, we might see a little bit of push up. Again, the NASDAQ could easily come up and fill this gap at about 14,000, maybe even come up to 14,800, which would push SQQQ to about $15. But that would be really good to buy and accumulate, because we do have this gap fill to the downside for NASDAQ, and that would push SQQQ up. So again, if we fill this gap to the upside, that will be even better. I'll feel so much better once this gap fill is gone and we can just see overall gap fills to the downside. And I do think this overall bearishness will come into the market after the last bit of bulls get roped into the most major bull trap of the century, which I do think we're about to see a major bull trap formed here on SPY and on NASDAQ as it ropes in the last little bit of bulls, suckering them into buying at the top, and then it's going to dump it to the downside and into a massive capitulation, which goes into anger and depression, and the people holding the bags up here are going to be holding for quite some time. So that's what I'm looking at for the overall market and GME. Again, I do think GME is going to continue to the upside. GME is a great buy, and I do think when the market starts to see downside, the meme stocks will be doing good. Let's go ahead and hop into AMC stock, and finish with AMC stock. So I want to go over some of the data with AMC, and I also want to show you guys some economic data that we do have that will be affecting the market. So again, on Thursday, we have PCE, we have personal income, and we have personal spending. But Friday is the big one, okay? Unemployment numbers. Unemployment numbers are on Friday, and ISM is on Friday. So watch for a lot of market volatility on Friday. AMC short interest is at 24.20. It's at 29.24%. Market fear and greed is currently at neutral. AMC's fear and greed is at 39. If we go ahead and look at crypto fear and greed, we can see, all right, so let's go ahead and pull up crypto fear and greed and show you guys that. All right, so we can see that, and we'll run it back. So crypto fear and greed is at 39. It's at 39. It's in fear. So again, you want to be buying when people are fearful. Be greedy when others are fearful. So this is a good time to buy Bitcoin, in my personal opinion, not financial advice, especially with this here being fire sale territory. All signs that it's a good time to be buying Bitcoin, especially for long-term accumulation. If you go ahead and look at the market fear and greed, it is in neutral, which means it is neither greedy or fearful. So it's in the neutral range. Not really too much going on. It's very indecisive and can break either way. And we can see that if we look at AMC's fear and greed, it is in fear. It is in fear. You guys can see AMC's right here. It is in fear. So I do think it is time to be greedy while others are fearful on AMC. If we go ahead and look at cost to borrow is sitting at 13.30%. This is because they do have shares now. And again, I am not causing any more division in the AMC community. I'm not going to call them yes voters. It's just people that got confused, and the vote was rigged anyways by Adam Aaron himself. So Adam Aaron is the one that we should really be mad at. You guys can see that FTDs are still racking up. And we are still on the threshold security list. This is the 46th or 47th day. I did lose track. I believe it's the 47th day in my personal opinion, but do not take me to the bank on that one. So that's what we're looking at for the data on AMC. FTD is still racking up. Short interest is still very high. Cost to borrow did come down because they do have shares. They are holding a lot of short shares to short. It does seem like a rally might be forming for AMC, and they do not want that to happen. So they are trying to keep this thing down, and they want to keep it below $12. They don't want this thing going crazy, especially while GME is about to rally. So GME is about to see a rally, which could set everything off, and they do not want that. So they're going to try to keep AMC pinned down. So guys, just be ready for more bull crap, okay? Just be ready for more bull crap. Only the most diamond-handedest things, apes, are going to make it through this, and I am literally holding to zero or MOAS. Again, when it comes to AMC, do not, especially AMC, do not listen to me, because why? I'm holding this thing until the end. I'm diamond-handing this thing. I am not rational when it comes to AMC. I am holding until the end, and I don't care. That money is gone to me, okay? That money is gone to me, and I am only holding for a MOAS short squeeze, and I might even buy more to average down, because with the settlement shares and the ape shares, with my cost average, it is pretty low. So if I did buy a couple shares, I could get it down to a profitable level. If we were to see these gap fills filled at $17 and at $40, I could bring it down to a level where that would make me profit. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC. Again, it's way oversold, beat down. You guys can see that it's way oversold here on the daily time frame. MACD finally starting to curl back to the upside. You guys can see Bollinger Bands constricting as well, letting us know volatility is building. We're about to have a green day today, but then it did manage to get pushed down. We're kind of forming this pennant shape right here, this flag type pennant shape right now. Basically, I think $10 is going to be the bottom for AMC. It looks like we might have to retest like 1060, but I think $10, even $10.50 is going to be the bottom for AMC. But be prepared for anything, because they do have all of those shares, and they're going to try to shake us out. You literally just have to know what you hold. With AMC, the price is not real, okay? You have to know what you hold. It's psychological manipulation, and that's all I can tell you guys. It's going to be a hard road. This is going to be a hard process. They have way more shares to beat this thing down because of the reverse split. But guys, everything has happened that I told you would happen because of the reverse split. It's not a good thing. It will not cause a squeeze. I tell you what will cause a squeeze: buying, holding, and waiting. Letting short interest accumulate, letting FTDs accumulate. It will get too big to ignore, and or it will get so big that something just breaks. All you need to do is exercise time and patience on this play. You don't need fancy QSIP number changes and all this checkmate and 3D chess and all this crazy stuff. All you need is shorts to keep doubling down, tripling down, making short interest go higher, higher, and higher, and causing more and more FTDs and synthetic shares. Let them just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and eventually one of two things will happen. Something will just completely break, and this thing will get covered and squeezed with force covering, and or it will get too big to ignore, and we will be able to stand up as a group. That's why we need to not be divided and push on the SEC and push on the regulation enough and say, hey, what is going on here? We're a group of 1 million, 5 million, 10 million plus people. We're all saying the same thing. This has been on the threshold security list for what? Let's just make a scenario, 60 days. Say it's been on the security list for 60 days. All the apes are together. It's not yes voters and no voters. It's just AMC apes. And we all go to the SEC and DCC and say, hey, what are you guys doing about this? And we all just do that every single day as a large enough group, as people that invest in the stock market. We can make change happen. Together we are strong, but we have to be together. Divided we fall, united we stand. That's why they do these types of things, to make us not as strong, because when we all come together as a mass group of people and we can be organized, they do not want this. And they might even cancel me for saying this. So guys, make sure you follow me on Rumble. Make sure you follow me on Rumble. I'm starting to drop all my videos on Rumble as well, and I can talk much more freely on Rumble. So please follow me on Rumble. Links down below. It's Data Zero on Rumble. I'm also on Twitch as well. But guys, this is pretty much the video. Again, I do think AMC is going to start bottoming. I think AMC is going to start bottoming. Basically, you can see the Bollinger Bands constricting. I think $10 is going to be the bottom, $10.50 around that range. You can see the Bollinger Bands constricted. You can see the MACD starting to curl to the upside, and you can see this $10 level trying to be held as support. I do think we can see a green day, but we have to be careful because they have 2.8 million short shares. I think they are saving these because a rally is coming and they want to keep this thing down to the ground, especially when GME starts running. This could help set it off. Guys, when the market starts to crash, they're not going to be able to hold this thing down anymore, okay? So they're just trying to buy time and make everyone sell. They're just trying to beat it down to the ground before the market crash happens, liquidity dries up, and a huge short squeeze happens. So guys, not financial advice, but they need your shares, okay? They need your shares. They need the dilution. They need our shares. They need all the shares, because there's too many fake shares, too many FTDs, and too much short interest they cannot cover. They can't. They need all of the shares. They need us to sell. They need us to go away. So they're going to try to beat this thing into the ground. But guys, this is the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like. Press subscribe to get more content like this. And if you want to become a member of the channel, that is a great way to help the channel grow and help me out, because ad revenue is not that much. So if you want to help out in that way and support the channel, become a member. It's $2.99 a month. You can cancel anytime. All you have to do is press the join button next to the subscribe button, and that helps me out. And you get a ton of perks for doing so. You get badges next to your name. You get exclusive emojis that you can use, and you get validation as a member on this channel, and your name gets put on the home screen. Also, I appreciate each and every one of you that watched to the end of this video to see this message. If you want to join the Discord, all you have to do is hit me up. Email link below. Again, I talk about stocks, cryptos, trades all day long, and post the buy and sell signals that you guys always hear about. And people are literally turning their portfolios around. Someone had a negative portfolio that was red for months and now is in the green because of the buy and sell signals. We also have major hitters, people winning $500, $600, $1,500. So go ahead and hit me up. Link down below. You want to hit me up before it goes to $100. It's only 50 right now. I'm literally giving away gold for nothing. So hit me up. Email link down below. And guys, if you want to support me for free, all you have to do is simply drop a like, leave a comment, and press subscribe. The trading class will be available on the 4th, September the 4th. It's going to be a Discord with 10 lessons, also online lessons, and you can ask questions. I'm going to be teaching a select number of students, so go ahead and hit me up on the 4th for that as well. I'll have more information when that day comes. But guys, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.
All right, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like, press subscribe for more content like this. And remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. You can become a member of the channel to help the channel grow and help with ad revenue, because ad revenue isn't that much. And I appreciate each and every one of you that do so. It gives me a little bit extra for my time and work putting into this. So guys, greatly appreciate each and every one of you that watched the end of this video. And as always, if you want to support me for free, all you have to do is simply drop a like, leave a comment, or press subscribe, and or share the videos. If you share the videos on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all over, that really, really helps me out. And as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.